Good afternoon, this is Don from How To's and Reviews. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to assemble a brand new Fluval 207, show you how the filters go, and do a final install on the aquarium downstairs. I do want to go over that this is the same exact procedure for the 107, the 207, the 307, and the 407. Hang tight. Let's get into dismantling the Fluval 207 so I can show you what's inside. What you want to do is first take your clips off, shown. Then this should lift right up and you can move that out of your way. Now what you've got is a filter cartridge, and all this is just foam. You can take these out, clean them out. They recommend that you do rinse these out with tap water before they're installed for the first time. Next, you can take the lid off of this. And then you can pull this whole thing out as a unit as long as you grab the red thing here. So now you've got just an empty canister. Put that aside. First things first, we've got a phosphate filter in the top section, and you've got a carbon filter. You do not open this up. You just put it down at the bottom, and then you put your phosphate on top. They do recommend you change this every 4 weeks. Next, you got your secondary filter, stone filter. You're just going to open the bag, put them in, and you're ready to go. You try to disperse them evenly throughout so the water kind of comes through as it should. Again, you should rinse that out. Finally, you've got another foam that catches finer particulates. As you can see, it caught some of the broken stone on here. And then below that is just another filter that is going to catch the bigger stuff. Very well made. Nice and easy to lift up. So now I'll put it back together. You're going to take your filter, and again, you want to wet this up before you start. Okay. Next, you've got your particulate filter for smaller particle sizes. And then what you want to do is, you can see that you've got a section here, and that's for your rod to lift up the whole unit. Put that in between there and drop it on top so it locks in. And finally, you've got your third one. Same thing in that hole up top. So if we're going to put this all back together now, what we want to do is grab the canister. Again, just so I could show you in the camera, you want to lift up by this red tab and then drop the filter cartridge all in one. Next, you can put your lid on. Then you take your free filters. Again, you can rinse them off. Drop them in and make sure it's all the way down. So now the filter cartridge is ready for installation for the first time, or if you've just cleaned it, it's ready to go. Since we're doing a first time install, what we need to do is take the pumping unit. Comes with a seal, and it does feel oily, and that's on purpose because there's some silicone on here so it does not dry rot. Then it's a good idea to pick some silicone up and coat this once in a while when you're doing your tank maintenance. We'll go ahead and install that now. Straighten it up. All you want to do is put this around the whole unit. Make sure it's sitting inside of this channel around each side. Do not try to force it up into the lid. It will not seal that way. Again, just around the gray portion. It's ready to get put together. And then we'll take our cartridge unit. What's nice about this model and all the Fluval 207, 107 to 407, they cannot go on backwards. So you can see that there are cutouts in the 207 which match up here in the front. So it's keyed. Next, what you want to do, put this down, and then take your handle, come down and lock. And it should be firm now with that rubber gasket. Take your second one and lock that. Alright guys, this thing's ready to install. And I'll show you the hose routing in just a couple of minutes on the actual aquarium. Here we go. I wanted to show you the initial setup. I'm not going to show you how to route each hose, but what did confuse me is that this did actually come with one hose that I had to cut. And the manual does show you how to do it. You pretty much want to just start with your intake down at the bottom valve, make sure the filter's in place, and then you want to cut about 4 inches below your tank surface. Then this fitting here just plugs into it. You push it all the way in, and then you direct your intake side. Next, what you do is you take the other end, put it into the valve, which I'll show you in a second, and do the same exact thing. You got about a 4-inch lead here, and then your outlet connects too. And I just ran it behind the tank and down into that hole. So here's the valve that comes with the Fluval 207. And what I want to show you is when you start with your intake. You put the end in and screw this all the way as tight as you can so this stays. And then I ran it up into the tank and did the 4 inches I mentioned before, and then I cut it. Then what you do is you take the opposite end, put it in your outlet, go up, do your 4-inch cut, and then put in your outlet spout. What I ended up with is about a 6-inch piece left over. So they do give you plenty because this is a tall tank. And next what we'll do is we'll put the filter back into place. Alright, let's show the valve getting locked into place. Put the filter in, and then what you want to do, put this down and then lock it right into place. Now the valve is, at this moment, closed. You want to open up the valve, and then it's time to fill this fish tank. Now that the water is almost full, you can see the intake line has plenty of water to draw from, and they recommend that you leave the outlet uncovered when you prime the pump. That's what we're going to do. Go down to the bottom cabinet, and what you want to do is open this valve. Once the valve's open, you want to pump a few times to start drawing in some water. And it starts to siphon on the pump to fill it. And what you want to do is let that fill up. Just a quick note that the pump that you use to siphon should be in a downward position when you are done. Now that everything's installed, pump primed, no more air release sound, we'll go ahead and plug it in. There we go. We got flow. Of course, all the air is going to be purging out. Once again, if you like videos like this, please like and subscribe and comment below. I'd love to hear what you guys want to see reviewed or just what you want to see put together. Thank you from How To's and Reviews.